Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name is Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Beginning in Michigan, where at least 4 people are dead, several others wounded, after investigators say a 40-year-old gunman opened fire on the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc. Michael Yoshida is there and has more on the tragedy and its aftermath.
They were shielding the children who are also present within the church, moving them to safety.
As horror and chaos erupted around them, worshipers at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan dove into action to protect each other.
Hundreds of people just practicing their faith, just extreme courage, brave, and that's the type of community that we are.
Shortly after 10 a.m. Sunday, a gunman rammed his pickup truck into the front of the church, set it on fire, then shot at congregants before dying in a shootout with police. One witness described the deadly scene and the aftermath as filled with confusion and disbelief.
I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know if we were going to have to get down because we couldn't see anybody to worship my Savior Jesus Christ, and I didn't expect this to happen, of course, and I've lost friends in there.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
And some of my little primary children that I teach on Sundays.
The building has been declared a total loss from the blaze, and investigators are combing through the rubble, looking for victims who could have been trapped in the fire. As those efforts continue, the FBI has taken over the investigation.
I can confirm at this time that the FBI is now leading the investigation and is investigating this as an act of targeted violence.
In Grand Blanc, Michigan, I'm Michael Yoshida.
Closer to home, Saturday was Bud Crawford Day in Omaha, a celebration of the boxer's achievements with a parade through downtown and a speech at Heartland of America Park, where he was presented the key to the city. That celebration didn't carry over into Sunday. A social media video shared by someone in Crawford's camp showed him being pulled over by Omaha police, one of whom had their gun drawn, asking Crawford to get out of the vehicle. This happened a little before 1:30 Sunday morning. Authorities say Crawford was pulled over for driving recklessly. Police say when the officer working the traffic stop saw a gun on the driver's side of the floorboard, he pulled his. Now, a member of Crawford's security detail carries a weapon and did have it at the time that he was pulled over. Police say they've confirmed all 4 people in the car were legally permitted to have firearms. A lieutenant responded to the scene after Crawford asked for it. Omaha's mayor, John Ewing, says he's spoken with Crawford and Police Chief Todd Schmaderer, who's pledged an internal investigation. Federal lawmakers have until late Tuesday to pass a spending bill or face a government shutdown. The top 4 congressional leaders meeting with President Donald Trump at the White House Monday in an apparent effort to iron out a deal. Many Democrats, though, have refused to back down, saying they want lawmakers to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies, lowering the cost of health insurance for millions. Trump canceled the meeting last week with Democratic leaders, calling their position, in his words, unserious and ridiculous. Now, Republicans control Capitol Hill and the White House, but they would need at least 7 Democrats in the Senate to join them to pass a spending package under the chamber's rules.
What's the number one concern Democrats have? It's Donald Trump. Who do they empower in the executive branch if we find ourselves in a shutdown? The president has immense authority through the Office of Management and Budget to decide what cuts to make, what kind of permanent cuts to make. So I think in that way it's reckless, and I hope that Democrats will come to the table and we can avoid this mess. I think Senate Democrats, and a majority of them, know that we can't go without paying our troops. Well, we've got them working around the world to protect our safety and national security. So I'm hopeful we'll find a way through this. I just don't see one right now, but things change, as we get closer to the deadline.
We need a serious negotiation. Now, if the president at this meeting is going to rant and just yell at Democrats and talk about all his alleged grievances and say this, that, and the other thing, we won't get anything done. But my hope is it'll be a serious negotiation.
Further complicating the looming shutdown, the White House Budget Office, which has directed federal agencies to use this opportunity to prepare sweeping new layoffs, according to a memo last week. In fact, the U.S. Department of Education preparing for a possible government shutdown. Sunday, Education Department officials announced its contingency plan if lawmakers fail to pass that spending bill. It says nearly 1,500 of its 1,700 employees would be furloughed, including most staff at the Office of Federal Student Aid. Now, essential employees would stay on to keep the loans and grants moving, but the agency said it would stop issuing new grants and reviewing civil rights complaints. If the shutdown lasts longer than a week, the department says it would have to bring back some workers to work on a partial or rotating basis. The University of Nebraska-Lincoln has been seeking ways to address a budget shortfall of $28 million. One of their proposed solutions is to eliminate half a dozen programs. But now, a governmental body in southeast Nebraska telling the state's largest school they think cutting one of those programs would cause more problems than solutions. The Jefferson County Commissioners expressed their support for one of the degree programs potentially on the chopping block, the Community and Regional Planning Program. Commissioners say their message to the university notes that the CRP program develops students and alum who develop projects that they say directly benefit local governments and residents. It's also the only such program in the state certified by the National Planning Accreditation Board. Now, the Jefferson County Board sent that letter to the university's Academic Planning Committee and to News Channel Nebraska last week. Board Chairman Mike Shainrock, who is himself a graduate of UNL, called the CRP program essential to the university and the state. Community and Regional Planning, one of 6 programs the university has publicly revealed is being considered for elimination. Well, Nebraska has many historical sites, among them the Neely Mill. Sarah McKenna has more on how that site was the host of a very important message over the weekend.
The Neely Mill opened in 1874, and decades later they would be in their prime of producing flour. This boxcar is similar to the one they used back then.
You really don't find too many 103-year-old boxcars around anymore.
The mill put on an event to show off this boxcar to the public and to teach about the history of the mill. Both commercial and government contracts made this mill very popular for all flour needs.
The mill was one of the top 10 largest mills in Nebraska, producing 98,000 pounds of flour per day, and they could fill up a boxcar every day with flour.
Using boxcars means train tracks, which is why Operation Lifesaver was also at this event to promote safety surrounding trains. Operation Lifesaver is put on by Nebraska Central Railroad.
We go out to all age groups from preschool, kindergarten, all the way to adults, promoting rail safety. And we just want to make sure people are making the right decisions when they're out on or around the railroad tracks.
With the harvest season coming around, the rail traffic picks up, meaning more accidents are able to happen.
There's a lot more stuff moving in our local communities. Do you guys think freight trains are big?
Freight trains can take a mile or more to stop when traveling 55 miles per hour.
That's 18 football fields end over end.
The engineer cannot see much and has to make a last-minute decision if they need to stop for any reason.
Then my joke always is, try to find the steering wheel, and you're not going to find it.
Operation Lifesaver wants to let the communities know that even though you don't see a train, expect a train.
See tracks, think trains.
Flour, trains, and safety, they all fit together to this day. Sarah McKenna in Neely, News Channel, Nebraska.
And the University of Nebraska Medical Center is revolutionizing distance learning. They've unveiled a new program using hologram technology. It focuses on identifying stroke systems and has new VR technology offering a glimpse into the future. Hanky Hazelton has more.
Across 4 campuses, the University of Nebraska's Medical Center is connecting over 100 medical professionals in real time through innovative technical software, empowering them to lead healthier lives.
We're connecting through holographic boxes, virtual reality headsets, large interactive touch walls, and we're bringing together some of the best educators across all these different areas to reach these learners wherever they're at and make it engaging with technology.
The conference spanned through Norfolk, Omaha, Kearney, and Scotts Bluff, spotlighting crucial stroke care and engages numerous medical providers in cutting-edge practices.
So in the field with our EMS providers, whether they're somewhere in western Nebraska or the eastern part of our state, and then everything from the critical access hospitals to stroke alert activation to neurosurgeons, ET and OT, your care on the backside of that for these stroke survivors to get back to healthy, normal, autonomous lives.
Learners are stepping inside the human body with VR headsets, experiencing a lifelike learning environment that showcases the immersive potential of virtual reality.
We made it massive, so it's like the size of like a 4-story building, this big, huge brain scan with vessels and the skull and all this kind of stuff. And so they're crawling inside the brain scan. They're talking about the pathology from the neurosurgery panel. So it's just a great way to gamify it, make it a little bit of fun, and let people see things differently.
As a stroke coordinator, what are some of maybe the signs or the symptoms, not only maybe such as myself, but someone in the audience should be looking for?
Facial droop, arm weakness, and then slurred speech. And then T is for time to call 911. It's really important that if you or someone that you are around start showing those signs and symptoms of stroke, that we're getting to the hospital right away.
Hollins notes that while technology is invaluable today, it doesn't signal the end of the traditional campus classes, emphasizing a balanced approach to modern education.
We're still going to have our learners learning from the professor. They're still going to go to lecture. They're still going to have their fellowships, their residencies. But can we get in some virtual reality or see things unlike we ever could, to see inside the body, to really connect that to the real world patient care that we're going to do.
In Norfolk, Hanky Hazelton, News Channel, Nebraska.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com, click on the news tab there. You can also follow us on X or like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. This is News Channel Nebraska.